Oh, hello, my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. And I hope you guys are ready to rock because we're going to have some fun. We're going to play, we're going to laugh, we're going to share, we're going to make friends, and so much more here on The Show with No Name. But first, guys, we've got to start where we always start. We've got to leave this planet just for a little bit. So everybody over to the launch pad. The launch pad is where the rocket lifts off. And folks, you know what time it is. It's time for liftoff. Countdown with me.
10,
9, 8,
7,
6. Come on.
5,
You got it.
3,
2.
1.
Here we go.
0.
Come on.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Strap on your seatbelts, folks.
30 minutes after the hour.
It's going to be a bumpy exit.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready
For the ride of your lives.
The show with no. It's show with no name time on Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Let's go.
All right, amigos. Welcome aboard. Time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. Can't believe it, we're back again. Last night was a great night. We had trivia hosted by Richard Vaughn. And, well, I knew it was going to be tough, but I got to say, we did pretty well. And it wasn't because of me. I was very lucky because last night, you guys know that Richard Vaughn loves everything that's Spain, everything Spanish. I mean, his kids are Spanish, his grandkids. In fact, he was there with his granddaughters last night, which was simply beautiful. That's always a beautiful thing. And they were actually his co-hosts. So he was hosting the show. They were co-hosting the show or the trivia night. It's like a show. And the questions were tough. But you guys, if you were born in Spain and you know a little bit about Spanish history, you would have done really well. So thanks to everybody who showed up or who turned up. To show up or to turn up es presentarse. I had a blast. I think everybody did. I want to send a special shout out as well to Martin. Martin is awesome. He was here from Buenos Aires. So, I mean, you want to talk about, I mean, it's not exactly a hop, skip, and a jump. Y esta expresión, a hop, skip, and a jump, no está exactamente al ladito, right? It's pretty far away from Madrid. And his family, well, he's got his sister that lives here in Madrid. And you'll have to forgive me, I forgot her name. But huge, first, everybody, not just Martin and his family, thanks for showing up. Thanks for the support. Thanks for all the amazing comments. We also had, now I forget your name. I have Daniel. I think Daniel, correct me if I'm wrong, but Daniel is with us every day. He's one of those listeners who's with us every day participating. And Daniel, he's getting ready. He wants to take a title, un título. I'm not going to get into details, but a special shout out to all of my Show with No Namers who showed up last night. And of course, those of you who couldn't make it, no pudisteis asistir. Well, hey, c'est la vie. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the ball bounces, como va la expresión. So look at that. We're learning a lot of idiomatic expressions already. I recommend you guys, obviously, just like any class, you should have a pen, you should have a notebook, you should have, some place where you can take notes. We're going to have a lot of challenges, as we always do throughout our show. So let's kick off with our first challenge, our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Come on. Hands up. Pop quiz. Is this an English class? Or is this a club? Una discoteca. Man, feels like a club to me. Oh. Welcome, folks. Welcome to our pop quiz, where we take a look at some English content from social media, from one of our books. This is where you're going to get content that you may or may not be familiar with. But the first thing I suggest you do, and I always do this, is follow us on social media. Because if you're following on social media, then you're going to get content every day. You're going to know about special events that we've got coming up. In fact, I can tell you our next trivia night, I forget the date, but it will be hosted by Guy Williams. So we've already got that lined up. But again, if you want access to all the information, as I said before, we've got right now our summer camps opening up. All of that stuff is at grupovon.com. If you're looking for materials such as this book is The Milk Too, which in fact today's pop quiz is coming from This Book is The Milk Too. So we'll see how well you guys know this book. This book was formerly called The Remilk. So if you have it, you might have a little advantage. You might have an edge, como decimos. Another way to say an advantage is an edge. And folks, the best way to have an edge and the best way to learn English for free is the Vaughn Radio app, following us on social media. And there's no doubt in my mind, just with that momentum, esa inercia, you're going to learn stuff every day. And I know myself personally, just preparing all the different sections, I'm always learning tons of new things. Obviously not, well, even in English, sometimes I'm like, mira, lo dicen así en inglés británico. So yeah, of course, I'm learning new things in all different arenas. Okay, let's take a look. Now, this, as I said, is coming out of This Book is The Milk Too. It's the follow-up to the very successful This Book is The Milk that I did with Damian Moya. This book is The Milk. It's, a bestseller. So thanks to you guys for that, because, well, it wouldn't be a bestseller if you guys didn't buy it, didn't recommend it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, I gave you guys the book fair dates. We'll be appearing at the book fair once again. It's one of our favorite times of year. So take a look at the dates. I don't have them here in front of me, but take a look at the dates. And then this way you guys can participate and be a part of the book fair. It's real simple. Just come to the Retiro Park during those 3 weeks. I recommend weekends, which is usually easier for everybody too, because that's when most of us are free. So I never really go during the week, because the weeks are really, really tough to get to the Retiro Park. But I end up going every weekend, if not Saturday, if not Sunday, if not the morning, the evening. So start making plans now if you want to join us at the Feria del Libro. Again, all this information is on our website. You can also get it if you follow us on social media. All right, well, today we're going to take a look at a few different expressions over here. I'm going to give you 3 expressions here, and these are totally native. In fact, let's get that jingle. These are totally native expressions. And what I want you guys to do is to tell me the expression in English, okay? And of course, if you can use it in context, that's always better. Okay, let's take a look over here. In Spanish, you say if somebody can't see or if something, sometimes they see perfectly. They have 20/20 vision, que es tienes la visión perfecta. But there are other times that you say it to somebody like, literally like, este no ve nada, but also no ves nada porque lo tienes delante. In Spanish, you say you are as blind as, because the word blind is ciego, un topo. Now, I think topo is mole, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up over here. Topo. Topo, mole, yes. A mole, en ambos sentidos. A mole, a spy, una espía también. So, okay, so that's the first one. Estás más ciego que un topo. And you can give me all three of them together. I think that's the best way to do that, okay? Also the next one. Estar a las duras y las maduras. And remember, I love context. If you can apply it in some kind of context, that would be great. So we've got two right now. Estás más ciego que un topo. Estar a las duras y las maduras. These are coming right out of this book, Is the Milk Too? And the last one is hacer una montaña de un grano de arena. So these are three very common idiomatic expressions, I think, in both English and Spanish. So we'll see if you guys know those idiomatic expressions. Also, I'm seeing over here, it looks like my light is flashing on my answering machine. So mi buzón de llamadas. It looks like we've got a phone call from somebody over here. Great. I love it when I hear from my students and my old friends. Remember, if you guys want to participate, we've already had yesterday or the day before yesterday, we heard Kubla, excellent job. Anix has participated. Monse, if you'd like to participate, send me a 1-minute voice message. Okay. And you can send it to my email at Vaughn. It's A Alonso. So it's A Alonso at grupovaughn.com. All right. And let's see. Let's see. Maybe who could it be today? ¿Quién puede ser? Do you think it's Chris Van Rol? Maybe it's Laura or Kubla. No, it's not Kubla. He already sent a message. All right. Well, let's see who it is. I'm curious. I'm eager to find out. Con muchas ganas. Let's see. Hi, thanks for calling the show with no name. I can't get to the phone right now, so please leave a message after the tone. Hello, Alberto. Buongiorno. It is your great friend Salvatore Saltamonti. I know you have not been in Italy in a long time, and we miss you. I heard a little rumor going around that you was gonna come with your mama. Is this true? Please confirm or deny. If you're coming, you must stop by my villa. I know you are a married man, but I have lots of lovely ladies there in my villa. But please look me up if you're going to come to Italy this summer. We can have a nice Chianti, and I can introduce you to my new friend Fabrizio. He's a fun guy. No, I don't mean a mushroom, I mean a fun guy. Hey, I know you like those jokes where I always play with the words. Anyway, my friend, long time no see. I hope to see you soon. And send my love to Jules Linares, and Tash Pasqua, and Jessica Fernandez, and all the lovely ladies who work at Vaughn. Ciao, bello. Oh, my God. Are you serious? That's my buddy. I can't believe it. I haven't heard from him in years. My great friend, Salvatore Saltamonti. He's from Italy, and what a nice guy he is. I don't know if you guys have ever met him before. I think that's the first time he's left a message for us. Again, if you want to leave us a message, keep it under a minute, and you can send it to aalonzo@grupovaughn.com, and then we'll see what you have to say. And let's see what our friend Salvatore Saltamonti had to say. He said, you was. All right. The only time you can say you was is, I guess, if you're a rapper, because it's, you when you was a kid, but I wouldn't say it. But don't worry, Salvatore speaks beautiful Italian. I'm just trying to help you guys. To go around, that's a good word he used. He said there's a rumor going around. Okay. Se está difundiendo, a rumor. What else did he say? He said to stop by. We've looked at this phrasal verb many times. Pásate por aquí. Stop by. He also said, look me up. Que es pégame un toque. dime algo cuando estés por aquí. And this look me up viene de consultar, buscar en la guía telefónica. So antes de, if you're ever in New York, look me up, búscame. Okay, llámame, viene a decir, contacta conmigo. So he's got some really great vocabulary here, my friend Salvatore Saltamonti. He also said to introduce, which is wonderful as well. Sometimes my students make mistakes there and they say, I will present you to my friend. And you know what I imagine when somebody says, I'm going to present you to my friend? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend. You know, presentar is like that. So to introduce, then he came up with a joke. He's a pretty funny dude, you know? And he said that he wanted to introduce me to his friend Fabrizio and that he was a fun guy. Fungi. In English, fungi. It's fungus, fungi. So fungi es un tío divertido. Oh, man. Bad joke. Well, you know what? We got to give it to him. He deserves it. Salvatore. Oh, man, you're a funny dude. You are a funny dude. All right. And then the last thing he said was a very, very native way of saying, no nos hemos visto en mucho tiempo. And that is long time no see. Long time no see. So again, if you want to send me a message like Salvatore or any of your other classmates, you can send it over to my email, aalonso@grupovon.com. Let's go on over to our chat room and see what you guys had to say in our pop quiz. Yeah, there's a beat. I like it. There's Born to Iron Man. He says, morning, amigos. Morning, Born to Iron Man. How's it going, bro? Kubla says, good morning, enthralling crowd. What's up, Kubla? Great to see you on board. Lemura says, good morning, Alberto and friends. Let's go for another amazing show. Absolutely, Lemura. That's the right attitude. There's Vero. Vero says, morning, beautiful people. What was last night like? I guess and hope you had a blast. Well, you guessed correctly and you hoped correctly. It was tons of fun. You can check out, I posted something on Twitter and I think on Instagram stories. I can't remember. But I posted a video and some photos and I had chicken and waffles, baby. Oh, pollo con gofres. Oh, that's yummy stuff. There's Chris Valrol. There she is. She says, morning, rise and shine. What's up, Chris Valrol? Always lovely to read your name. Kubla says the pop quiz jingle is infectious. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I feel the same. Laura says, good morning, wonderful show with no namers. Let's have a ball. I agree, Laura. We are ready to have tons of fun. Let's see. Chris says, you're as blind as a mole. Well, Chris, that would be the literal translation. But we would use a different animal. Again, I think people would understand you. Pero sabes cómo es frase hecha. But I like it. I like that we know the word mole now. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, is rompetechos? I don't know who that is. Okay, sorry. As blind as a bat. Excellent. That's the one we're looking for, to be as blind as a... Nosotros decimos como murciélago. You know, because they use sonar, you know. So, is rompetechos, somebody's last name literally translated, as blind as a bat? Anyone who has read his funny stories knows it indeed. Awesome. Great. Laura, she says, you're as blind as a bat. To be through thick and thin, and to make a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, yeah, that's all three. That's nice. Laura, great job. So, yes, to be as blind as a bat. Okay. Then the second one, which was duras y maduras, I think you say in Spanish, is through thick and thin, right? Through thick and thin. And then the last one, to make a mountain out of a molehill. To make a mountain out of a molehill is to make a big deal out of a situation that shouldn't be a big deal. To make a mountain out of a molehill. Great, guys. Wonderful. Let's see. Yeah, and mira, sale la palabra mole de la otra. See, we're looking at moles today. And also a mole is like a growth or something that you have. A ver, ¿cuál es la otra palabra? Sé que una verruga, maybe in Spanish. I always forget these. A mole, una masa. Yeah, mole. Y aquí ponen mole, la salsa mexicana también. Que no son homófonos. We don't say mole sauce. That would sound weird. Doesn't sound very appetizing. All right, let's see. Lemura says, it's not that bad. No es para tanto. Don't freak out, please. You're making a mountain out of a molehill. Lemura, fantastic. To make a mountain out of a molehill. And I love the word freak out. Don't freak out. Cálmate. Lemura has also given us another example. If I don't have my glasses on, I'm as blind as a bat. Yeah, my wife too. She's like, where are my glasses? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, please help me look because this is going to help. This is going to take a long time. Kubla. Yesterday, I was as blind as a bat when I couldn't realize what was in front of me. That was for better or for worse. That's another way of saying through thick and thin. Nevertheless, no obstante, nevertheless, I didn't make a mountain out of a molehill. Excellent job, guys. You're doing wonderful today. Let's see. Lemura says, we've been friends since we were kids, and he's been with me through thick and thin. Awesome job, Lemura. Excellent examples. Let's see. Cristina says, oh, it was Salvatore. Nice guy. He knows how to eat and drink well, and he's not a Casanova at all. Well, I think that's the point. He thinks he's a playboy. He thinks he's a player, but everybody else thinks he's just a little bit creepy. I don't want to tell him that. You know what I mean, Chris? I don't want to be the one to break the news to him. He thinks he's sexy and attractive to the women. He thinks he's God's gift to women and men. They all love me, he says. All sexes love me. I am Salvatore. And I just, I humor him. Okay, sure they do, Salvatore. He's a funny guy. He's a fun guy, too. Let's see. Grasshopper in Italian is cavalletta. Well, I don't know if his name is Grasshopper. Maybe it's because he jumps off of mountains. I don't know. Saltamont? I don't know. Jay Lima says, morning, goat. Ooh, Jay Lima. Goat. The greatest of all time. I don't know. That's a heavy crown to wear. Let's see. Jaime says, I think the referee was as blind as a bat last night when the fault in the match with the foul. Cuidado, una falta would be a foul. F-O-U-L. But great example. Wonderful example. Let's see. Born to Iron Man, clearing up the mole thing. Mole is lunar and wart, verruga. Thank you to my research assistant. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see you guys are translating names, but my brain's not working this morning. Sorry, I've been working for a few hours. So, ceiling breaker, rompetecho. I don't even know who that is. I'm sure it's funny. I'm just not getting it, guys. But you guys, I gotta say, you nailed it. And these expressions that we looked at today, they come out of this book is the Milk 2. And we also have it in the first Milk book. And there's a section where it's like a battle royale, right? A battle royale, una batalla campal. And it's, the biggest expressions in English and in Spanish. And we duke it out. Lo peleamos para ver cuál es más lógico, cuál es más gracioso. So if you haven't seen that, they're in both of the books. This book is the Milk 2, and in this book is the Milk. At the end of the book, And it's a fun way to compare expressions, because I always like to compare and contrast idiomatic expressions. Remember, you can get that and tons of other books over at, you know where, the Von Tienda. It's vontienda.com. All right, my amigos, I can't believe it, but we've got to go to our first commercial break. I know. We've got a lot to do, folks. When we come back, we've got Say What, we've got our spelling bee, we've got homophones, and so much more. So, you know how this works. We're going to take a quick, like 2 minutes, maybe 3. But we'll be right back with tons more. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. It's time for part 2 of your interactive wacky, yeah, porque estamos un poco chalados. It's a wacky show, let's admit it. All right. Okay, I see rompetechos. I didn't catch the cultural reference there. Kubla explains rompetechos is a Spanish cartoon character. See, you got me there. It just shows you. Okay, I understand Spanish, but I'm still missing some of those cultural references. And it just goes to show, demuestra how important they are. If you say to an American, oh, like the empanadillas de Móstoles, they're going to look at you like, what? Or encarna, these kind of things are these inside jokes, I call them, ¿no? Chistes que solo conocemos los de dentro, the people who are in the know, the natives, right? And every society, every culture has got them. We love it. It's what makes learning a language interesting. The idiomatic expressions, the way we interact. I love that stuff. All right, folks, where do we start? We've got so much to do here, so let's kick off with today's Say What? Say what? Yeah. Say what? Hey, Monse. Monse just joined us. Now we can start. We can get this party started with our amiga Monse. What's up? What's up? All right, folks. Well, as always, you're going to hear this soundbite 4 times, a total of 4 times, and you guys are going to have to figure out what's being said. At first, I want you to give me it in your best English, a quick summary. Don't go, remember, this is something, this at the beginning when we started doing this, of course, I want you to expound on an idea. I want you to get into a little detail, but I don't want you to go overboard. So this is also an exercise in saying a lot in a sentence or two. All right. So, as always, pay attention, listen carefully, and write down as much as you can. And then after this second listen, now we'll discuss what you guys heard. Everybody ready? This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
No idea what I wanted to do. So I asked my kids to listen to a song, close their eyes,
Yes.
and listen to the song. And my little one, Sasha, came up with the robot idea. He said, Mommy, I imagine you dancing with a robot.
All right. I think it's crystal clear. Not too much mystery there, right? It's one of the easier ones we've looked at in the past couple years. All right, well, let's give you a second just to digest that, to take it in, and I'm going to give it to you again. Everybody ready? This is the Say What soundbite for the second time, amigos.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I asked my kids to listen to a song, close their eyes,
Yes.
and listen to the song. And my little one, Sasha, came up with the robot idea. He said, Mommy, I imagine you dancing with a robot.
All right, my amigos. And while you guys are thinking about what you want to say and how you want to express yourselves, it's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
That's right, amigos. It's our Spelling Bee, only on the Show with No Name. And here's where I am going to spell some words. And, well, these are all words that have something in common, as always. These words today, I think, are going to be pretty easy, and we're going to learn a lot. Well, I think we always do in the Spelling Bee, because we don't only work on our spelling, but we talk about all the different things. So, as always, we're going to go in depth over here. But first, let's take a look at your comments on our Say What soundbite. The first person to participate is Monse. So she might have come a little bit late, guys, but she's already on the ball. Que es espabilada. And we know that about Monse anyway. Monse, what's up? She says, it sounds like a Latin or Spanish lady. Yeah, you can say Hispanic or Latin, fine. Maybe, but with a very good English accent, talking about how her kid gave her the idea of playing like a robot. Excellent job, Monse. You heard it right, and you described it perfectly. It being el audio, no la persona. Right? So that was fantastic, Monse. I think you summed it up nicely. You gave me a lot of information, and there are 2 or 3 sentences there. And you're right. You're absolutely right with your observations. The person is of Latin descent, and she, we can say now, we know it's a woman. I agree with you. She speaks pretty damn well. So it sounds like somebody who has either been exposed to English since she was a kid, or somebody who is exposed to English every day, or maybe even lives in an English-speaking country, because that'll happen too, So it's like, you get Geedies who are living here. I've heard Geedies do the laísmos. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. And they're just copying what they hear. So I've heard, some students of mine who live in the United States right now make these native mistakes. So interesting. But this person, I agree, Monse, you hit it on the nose there. She speaks very clearly, sounds like a great communicator, no doubt about it. Leonardo says, I think this lady who is being interviewed ran out of ideas for a song. Great phrasal verb, Leo. Quedarse sin, to run out of. So she ran out of ideas for a song. So she asked her kids for advice. And Sasha, who came with her robot, said the song sounded like she was dancing with the robot. Interesting. Okay. The ending is a little bit confusing there, Leo. Trying to figure out exactly what you mean there in the ending part. But okay, all right. The first part, I get what you're saying. So who came with her robot, que vino con su robot. Y fijaos cómo lo pronunciamos. It's not robot, it's robot. We say robot in English. Who came with a robot and said the song sounded like she was dancing with a robot. Okay, well, good. You heard some key information there. Good job. Let's see. Kubla, I heard an American mom talking about her children. She said her little one, Sasha, suggested that her mom danced with a robot. Interesting. So everybody's hearing the dancing and the robot, something about kids. Lemura says, I heard a Colombian singer. Lemura's like, I know who it is here. I heard a Colombian singer talking about an anecdote of how the idea of a robot in a song was apported by her little son, right? If it's si es hembra, by her little son after listening to the song. Lemura, you know what's going on. Lemura, you got it. Laura says, I heard the voice of a Latino singer explaining how one of her kids gave her the idea of dancing with a robot in one of her video clips. All right, absolutely. Laura, spot on. Guys, wonderful. Excellent. Everybody, that's for everybody. Let's see. There's my dad. My dad says, good morning, Alberto, friends and family. Greetings from Greenwood Lake, New York. What's up, Dad? Hope you're having a lovely morning, enjoying a cup of Joe. What? Enjoying a cup of Joe. Disfrutando de una taza de café. Enjoying a cup of Joe. And I didn't say cup of. I said cuppa. A cuppa. De hecho, podemos hasta usar la palabra cuppa. You want a cuppa? It can be tea or coffee, depending on the context. If you didn't know this vocabulary, then you did not listen to the FYI episode on coffee. There's an episode on coffee, and you'll learn all these different nicknames we have for this very popular beverage. So I hope you're enjoying a cup of Joe, Dad. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol says, this well-known woman is talking about some suggestions her little kid made, en vez de did, pero muy bien, ahora vemos. We make suggestions instead of do. Eso es 50-50. Pero ves, Chris lo ha destacado y ahora sabemos que es to make suggestions. So some suggestions her little kid made for her show. Absolutely, Chris. You guys are nailing it. All right. Monse says, shoot. Now I know who she is. Well, it's definitely somebody who everybody knows in the whole world. And you know what? We've got a winner already. Please give it up for your classmate, Laura. Wow, Laura. Incredible. And as she just confirmed, I think we all know who this woman is. Well, more importantly, Laura knows not only who she is, but what she's saying, too. Excellent job, Laura. That was lightning speed. All right, let's, speaking of lightning speed, it's time for our first round of our spelling bee. And this is the one where I almost feel bad. A veces hasta me siento como culpable. I'm like, qué malo soy. You know, I feel like a bad guy sometimes. But also, I go as fast as you guys demand. So if you guys, if I see that people are getting it, I'm going to keep trying to speed up even more. So today, I am going to put the pedal to the metal, amigos. We're going to see who's ready. We're going to see who's on the ball. It's time for round one of today's Spelling Bee. The first word is, and these don't have to be capitalized today. No tienen que ir con mayúscula. The first word is, ready? BALL space HOG. The second one is GROUNDED. The third one is HIT space GROUND space RUNNING. The fourth one is HIGHER space GROUND. The fifth one is GROUND BREAKING. Oof. And the sixth one is EAR space TO space GROUND. Give me a second, guys. I got to catch my breath after that. That was super fast. And we'll see if anybody was able to figure that one out. All right. That was round one. Anyone? Anybody got what it takes? Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable. It doesn't matter how fast I go. This person is always on the ball. Please give it up for Born to Iron Man. Unbelievable. Born to Iron Man, nailing it, dude. Unfreaking believable, dude. I can't go faster. You can see I had to breathe at some point, right? You guys can see it in my face. I'm going to turn blue if I don't pause. So that I can't go much faster than that, Born to Iron Man. So hats off to you. That is extremely, extremely impressive, even for a native. So excellent job. All right, here we go, folks. This is the round that's for us normal people, us people who are like, what did you say? One more time, not just one more time. This is round two of today's Spelling Bee. All right. The first word is, again, they don't have to be capitalized today. They're not proper nouns. The first word is BALL space HOG. The second one is GROUNDED. The third one is HIT space GROUND space RUNNING. Now, if you notice something, there's a pattern here. Hay una palabra que se repite bastante, okay? The fourth one, HIGHER space GROUND. The fifth one, GROUND BREAKING. And the last one, the sixth one, is EAR space TO space GROUND. Okay, there we go, my amigos. Those are your words in today's Spelling Bee. I see we've got some other people who have figured it out as well. So a nice round of applause for Lemura, Chris Valrol, Lupe, Kubla, Laura. Wow. A lot of you participating, and not just participating, they look, at first glance, they look perfect. So not only did you guys get it, but you got it right. So that is amazing. Keep up the fantastic work. Even if you're not at Born to Iron Man's level, who is? All right, the first word is ball hog. Ball hog. This is a weird word. A ball hog. Well, a hog is another way to say a pig. Now, it's interesting because it's an O. It's HOG, pero se pronuncia más como una A. Hog. Hog. You're hog. Dude, you're a hog. Eres un cerdo. Pero más when we say a hog in English, it means to take more than your share. Monopolizar, I think you say. Acaparar, you're taking more than you should. And when we put it with the word ball, es un chupa, alguien que chupa balón, right? They don't pass it to anybody. A ball hog. So quit hogging the ball. Quit hogging the sheets. To hog. Sounds like Haagen-Dazs. Hagen. Same sound. Porque yo no digo la G del gerundio, porque en mi país mucha gente no lo dice. So to hog. And it's a regular verb. So it gets an additional G and an ED. She hogged the ball during the game. So a ball hog. And what are all the, did anybody get what the words have in common here? Well, they all had something to do with either the word ground or hog. Why? Well, in 1887 today, in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, if you guys know your movies, I know Chris Valrol, you probably know it already. In Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the first Groundhog Day was observed. ¿Y qué es una marmota para nosotros? Un cerdo de la tierra, que vive en la tierra, a groundhog, right? And Groundhog Day, Dia de la Marmota. Great movie. And it's also a real holiday. They really have a groundhog there, and the mayor goes. It's a big, big event. So the first one was observed today in 1887. Again, the famous town, it's difficult to pronounce. It's Punxsutawney, and it's in PA. What? PA? Pennsylvania. Sabes que cada estado tiene una abreviatura. So NJ, New Jersey, NY, New York, PA, Pennsylvania, baby. All right, so the second word. Now, the second word is a really, really rich word because it's grounded. Now, grounded can mean, let's go through all the different meanings here, okay? If a person is grounded, tiene sus pies en la tierra. Their feet are on the ground. He's a very grounded guy. I would hire him. Yo le contrataría. He's grounded, okay? Now, if a child is grounded, es castigado. If you don't listen, you're going to be grounded. No television, no, right? So castigado. It's another way of saying punished, grounded, okay? Also, a wire in electricity. You need a ground wire. It should be grounded to something. I don't know too much about that one. Also, when there's a problem with a plane is grounded. Tiene que estar en tierra. Okay, the 7 pasó. It happened with the 737 MAX. There were 2 serious accidents due to a software problem and lack of communication. Well, long story there, but all 737 MAXs were grounded, okay, in tierra. So it's a pretty rich word there, And again, context, you'll know. No van a castigar a los... Bueno, piénsalo, están castigados. Estáis en tierra, nadie se mueve. You guys are grounded. Mi hija lo hace. It's something my daughter does with her toys, her stuffed animals, los peluches. A lot of times we'll play that one of them is trying to steal our breakfast. Estamos desayunando, we're having breakfast, and I'm like, hey, Peppa Pig, are you trying to eat my breakfast? This breakfast is for Lara, and it's for Daddy. And then she goes, Papi, can you ground her? And I go, grounded, castigada. So my daughter knows that version of it, not because we ground her. She's a good girl. De hecho, I don't think she's ever been grounded, but we ground her stuffed animals all the time. Siempre lo estamos castigando. It's her request, su petición ahí. So very rich word. Are you a grounded person? Were you grounded a lot when you were a kid? All right, another one. The third one is to hit the ground running. And to hit the ground running is empezar a tope, right? We're looking for somebody in this position who's going to hit the ground running. Que nada más caer, empiezan a correr, no empiezan a gatear, que empiezan ya a 1000, right? Think about it. If you think about it, voy a darle al suelo ya corriendo, no voy a esperar, caer, levantarme, empezar a gatear, luego pisar, right? So to hit the ground running. Let's see how they translate it over here. To hit the ground running. Es una canción también. Maybe it's Placebo, could it be? Or maybe it's Arcade Fire. arrancar a toda marcha. Okay? To hit the ground running. Omití el the, como podéis ver. The next one, higher ground. Well, where do you want to be when there's a flood? Si hay una inundación, where do you want to be? You want to be on higher ground, tierra más alta. And if you know Stevie Wonder, Esteban Maravillas, he's got a song called Higher Ground. It my diamond and you're buying up your head. Let's start the world and the whole world that's me. Let's start the eye on the medicine bed. We're gonna keep on trying till I reach the higher ground. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have a version of it which is absolutely funkalicious. Higher ground, tierras más altas, un sitio donde estamos a salvo. The next one, number 5, groundbreaking. I think I've used this word a lot to describe a lot of the Vaughn programs. Vaughn Radio is groundbreaking. Why? Well, I don't remember any other radio station that is 24/7, not just English. Obviously, there are many English radio stations that are 24/7, but that exclusively teach English as well as history and aviation. And who knows? Today we're looking at expressions that have to do with grounds and hogs. Who knows what we'll look at tomorrow or even in our next section? I guess we're going to have to keep our ear to the ground. We're going to link them together over there. So, groundbreaking, revolucionario, right? Vaughn Town, groundbreaking, great idea. Vaughn Radio, groundbreaking, okay? And the last one I used is to have your ear to the ground. And I remember that. I have a good memory. I remember when I hear somebody use something and it just stays with me for some reason. It's a good way to remember things. And I know the expression, but you know who uses this expression? Kyle Miller, my buddy from Drive Time, Kyle Miller. He loves this expression. And I remember him using it when he was on my podcast. There's a business episode of FYI where Kyle joins me on the podcast. And he says, you got to have your ear to the ground, or you got to keep your ear to the ground. ¿Y qué pasa si tienes el oído pegado a la tierra? ¿Sabes? Si vienen, si hay temor, ¿qué es la palabra en español? Well, you know, if there's an earthquake, un terremoto, you know, if there are horses, you can hear what's coming in the future, right? You can it's a way to foresee, prever, en el futuro. But it really literally means, not literally, figuratively means tener los oídos abiertos, estar al loro, prestar atención. Folks, I can't believe it, but we have to go to our second commercial break. Time is just flying by, as it always does. We'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, you got tons of amazing programs all afternoon long. Download our free app and you won't miss any of them. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. We've got so much to do. So much to do here. So much fun to be had. So many challenges up ahead. And we've only got, we've got under an hour to get her done. Como se dice en mi país? Get her done. Hazlo ya. Get her done. Sacarlo. Adelante might be a good translation. I love these little cultural things, as you guys know. It's what makes learning and teaching an adventure. Are you guys ready for our next adventure? All right, it's called Homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with homophones.
That's right, amigos. Welcome to our Homophones Challenge. And this is a part of the show, of course, where we look at words that may or may not sound the same. I'm going to leave it in your hands. A, I want to know what the words are. And B, I want to know if they sound identical. Whereas if I said one, you wouldn't know which one of the two I was saying without context. All right, the first word is probably one of the most common verbs in any language. And this word, the first word, has probably, and I'm including phrasal verbs here, has probably around 50 meanings, 50 different uses. So this is a verb you really, really want to be familiar with, okay? Because it's like get, el verbo get. You want to get familiar with the verb get, right? Because you need it to get by, ¿ves? So there's no way to get around it, evitarlo. Get es que es clave. And this is another one of these words that you got to know, and it's poner. Okay, poner. Luego puede ser poner algo, we'll look at many different meanings. We'll look at phrasal verbs. We'll take a look at some of the most common ones, as we always do, just to make sure we know how to use it, at least on the surface, el superficie. And the second word, so the first word, poner, y muchos usos más, okay? And the second word it comes from golf. And this word is a gentle hit. So when you're at you're just right near the hole, okay? You don't want to hit it hard. I don't know very much about golf. In fact, this is what you do when you play mini golf. Y luego veremos un apodo, a nickname. So, ¿es un golpe corto o un golpe suave en el golf? Okay? So it's not that first hit. It's when you're right up next to the hole and you just got to give it a little, right? That's the one. What are those two words? And do those two words sound exactly the same or not? Also, what I'm going to give you guys right now is our Say What soundbite for the third time. We've got a few people who have figured it out already, which is fantastic. We'll see I don't know if a few people, I know Laura's gotten it already. Well, this is your opportunity. The Say What soundbite for the third time.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I asked my kids to listen to a song, close their eyes, and listen to a song. And my little one, Sasha, came up with the robot idea. He said, Mommy, I imagine you dancing with a robot.
All right. There you go, amigos. There's your Say What soundbite for the third time. I think everybody here on the show right now who's listening or participating, you all know who it is. So let's see if you know what she's saying. And I have to say the same as many of you said before. She speaks lovely. She has a wonderful accent in English, even though it's not her mother tongue. All right. So a good example to follow. I don't know her backstory. Maybe she's been learning. As I said, she's either living in an English speaking country or she's grown up around natural English. And you can tell. Se nota. You can always tell. Let's see. Lemura is the first one to participate in our homophones section. Let's see what Lemura had to say. She said the two words are and they aren't homophones. All right. Lemura seems pretty sure of herself. Let's see if your fellow students agree with you, Lemura. Laura says the two words are and they don't sound the same. So far, that's 2 for 2. All right. Lemura also taking a stab at the say what sound, but I think because I see the word robot there. Let's see. We've got Jay Lima. Jay Lima says the words are not homophones. Okay. Does anybody say they are? Chris says they're not homophones. Kubla says they don't rhyme. Que no riman. Okay, so this is real simple here. We're just going to say both of these words, and we'll see if you're all right or if you're all wrong. Now, I have a feeling you guys got this one, but let's see. The first word is put. Okay, put. The easiest and best thing about the word put, you know what it is? How do you conjugate it? Put. Done. Ya lo tienes controlado. So don't put it off. No lo aplaces. Okay? Because I'm not going to put up with any excuses. Ya tienes dos usos. Don't put it off. No lo aplaces. Because I'm not going to put up with, no voy a tolerar. I'm not going to put up with excuses. So put on your hat. No es put your hat. Ponte la gorra. Siempre es on, si es ropa. Okay? Put on your hat. And put on. Estoy pensando en más usos. Te he dicho que hay miles. Well, of course, there are many to put somebody to the test, right? Now I can't think of more. Colocar, put it up. Otra vez. This is a common mistake I hear with this verb put. In Spanish, you say put it, ponlo, or ponlo. We have to say where. Put it in your pocket. Put it on the shelf. Put it up. Put it down, right? But déjalo. Put it down. Okay? That's dangerous. Put it down. Put. All right. The second word is put. No way. Good job, amigos. Excellent job. That's right. They don't. So put and putt. I see we've got a lot of golfers. I guess it's just par for the course. Viene con el territorio. It's par for the course. Oh, Jay Lima gives us another great one. Sure, to put out a cigarette or a flame. Yeah, something that's on fire. You put it out. Excellent one, Jay Lima. So I'm sure you guys can come up with some of your own, but this is a very useful verb. It's got many, many uses, and it's easy to conjugate, and you should be familiar with it, just like the verb to get, to have. You know, these very common verbs that take, por ejemplo, es otro. Take puede ser una ducha, también es tardar. You know, so también como expresión, it takes two, se requiere. That's what I mean. Familiarize yourself with the most common uses of the most common verbs, and you're going to be A-OK. Y estarás genial. So excellent job to all my amigos. And this is something also. Remember I told you before, I said in the United States, there's a nickname for mini golf. You know a nickname for mini golf? Putt-putt. Putt-putt. Hey, it makes sense, doesn't it? Putt-putt. And usually if you go to a mini golf or a putt-putt, you usually have batting cages. ¿Sabes las jaulas estas que vas con el bate, right? Batting cages. So, oh man, anybody getting some good memories? I know mini golf is popular here. I don't think it's as popular. And batting cages, I don't think I've ever seen batting cages. in Spain. Maybe in some places they do have them. I have seen driving ranges and golf courses. So a golf course is, bueno, la pista entera. And the driving range is where you go and you just work on driving it, que es dándole con todo lo que tienes. And that's my knowledge of golf in a nutshell, en resumidas cuentas. All right, folks, we are going to go to a very special place, a place where I just love the smell. You know what I'm talking about. It's the movies, and I'm going to grab some popcorn because we've got an awesome movie today. Come on, join me. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. All right, let's see a couple comments before we start out the Name That Movie section. It's great, guys. Thank you, by the way, for all your participation today and every day. Leonardo says, today's Say What Sounds lady, oh, I'm getting confused, is crystal clearly for everyone. Oh, man. Guys, I got to apologize. It's not you. Today, it's me. I'm thick. No me entero. I didn't get I didn't know the cultural reference of this cartoon. And here, I'm not getting it. I'm sure it makes sense, Leonardo. It's not you. As I said, it's me. I'm just a little bit thick today. Un poco espeso. We say the same thing. Vero says, put that putt down. You could get hurt. Yeah, putt or putter. Ahí ya me ganas. No sé si es putter, es como se llama. The driver, the 9-iron, the 5-iron. No son los nombres. And we don't call them, aquí tenemos un truquito. We don't call them golf sticks. We call them golf clubs. All right. Let's see. Also, Kubla says John Ram. I don't know who that is. Guys, you're getting me with a lot of references today. I'm totally lost. John Ram, you don't have to explain. I'll take your word for it. John Ram put down his iron and picked out a wood to putt for birdie. Sounds like a different language to me. I'm not saying it's wrong, Kubla, but I don't understand golf. And I don't know who John Ram is. So it went over my head. No lo capte. But again, we're going to move on because we're not going to talk about golf for the rest of the show. Let's see. Jay Lima. Jay Lima says, the police put Dani Alves away. Great example using current events. And thank God. What a scum. Vaya escoria. I never liked him. And now you can imagine how I feel about taking advantage of and sexually. Wow, let's not get into detail. Let's not mention his name, but wonderful example. Wonderful example over there, Jay Lima. I see Jay Lima is putting his best foot forward. Toma expresión, ¿no? Haciéndolo muy bien, haciendo un buen intento, dándolo todo. He's putting his best foot forward. All right, but let's move on because I don't want to put it off, aplazarlo, any longer. We've got to go to the movies, guys. All right, let's take a look at today's movie. This is the greatest movie ever, the greatest comedy, family comedy. I don't know. To me, it's just perhaps the greatest ever. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to give you the trailer first today. Do you know why? Because it's too easy. It's too easy. So I'm going to give you the scene, and then we'll take a look at the trailer together, okay? Don't worry, Chris. You'll get it in an instant, in a flash. It's as easy as, man, I think even if you don't know much about movies, this is a popular movie, or it was. Shh, I'm done. Here we go. I'm going to tell you the movie before I even start. And the whole reason I didn't do the trailer was to not give it away. You see, it defeats the purpose, como decimos en inglés. Va en contra de lo que estoy haciendo aquí. Yeah, don't worry. I'm my own worst enemy. All right, here we go. Ed is a car salesman. concesionario, trabaja, right? He works at a dealership and he's a car salesman or a car dealer. Los dos te valen. And he says, I'll get to the bottom of this. Now, to get to the bottom of this, voy a investigar esto, voy a enterarme de lo que ha pasado. It's a great expression. I'll get to the bottom of this. Davenport. And Davenport is somebody's last name. And he calls out, Davenport. And then Davenport says, yes, Mr. Ed. Right? So obviously, just by this exchange here, we can see that Ed is Davenport's boss, right? He's screaming his name and he's ordering him around or bossing him around, mandándole. And Ed, the car salesman, says, Mr. Griswold, now si no lo sabes aquí, nunca lo vas a saber con el apellido. Mr. Griswold ordered a blue sports wagon. Where is it? Now, this movie is from a time when the station wagon was probably the most popular car, at least in the United States, at least for families. Now you don't see them very much. And when you see them, they're a lot more compact. You know, like the Volvo ones with a station wagon. I don't know if they were as popular here, but in the States, they were all the rage. Eran todo. Todo el mundo estaba interesado en este coche, más teniendo familia. So he says, Mr. Griswold ordered a blue sports wagon, y más como modo deportivo, no tan familiar. He says, where is it? ¿Dónde está? And Davenport, I don't know, sir. Right? The typical answer, I don't know, sir. And Ed, the car salesman, says to Clark, I know what must have happened. Yo sé lo que me habrá pasado. I know what must have happened. El have suena como of. I know what must have happened. ¿Viste? Fíjate cómo lo pronuncio. It didn't come in. No llegó. No lo recibimos. Like, listen, if you tell me that after I ordered something, oh, I know what happened. Simplemente no llegó. You're like, wait a second. Now you're giving me some bullshit. No, ahora me estás contando milongas, I think would be a good translation here. So then Clark Griswold says, Ed, I'm not your average everyday fool. Ed, yo no soy tu fool es tonto, everyday es cotidiano. No soy tu tonto cotidiano de cualquier día, de todos los días, no, cualquiera. So I'm not your average. Vamos a pronunciar esta, por favor. No es average, que he oído mucha gente pronunciarlo así. No average, sino average. I'm not your, y fíjate en la pronunciación otra vez, no digo your, digo your. No es la palabra, es como suena. I'm not your average, lo junto, everyday fool. Y everyday, muy fácil la regla con esto. Everyday, si va junto, es un adjetivo. This is an everyday pen, un boli cualquiera de cada día. But I use it every espacio day, cada día, dos palabras. So, de cada día, una palabra, ¿no? Cotidiano. Y si decimos cada día, como literalmente cada día, pues en español, como en español, dos palabras. It's a good way to remember it. Even native speakers make this mistake when they're writing it down. Obviously, teachers, no. But the normal everyday, mira, lo acabo de usar sin querer, el de uno cualquiera, you know? So, he says, now, I want my blue sports wagon. Okay, quiero el coche que pedí. And if you can't get it, I'm going to take my bill. Esta es frase, apúntate esta. ¿No? En Estados Unidos, if somebody's not taking care of your problem or they're not helping you out or anything like that, right? Then you can say, I'm going to take my business elsewhere. I'm going to take my business elsewhere means que voy a otro sitio. My business es mi dinero, mis negocios, a otro sitio. And it's a way of saying, no me gusta el trato. I don't like the treatment I'm receiving here. You're screwing around. Me estás jodiendo, vacilando, right? And I'm going to take my business elsewhere. Yo he dicho esto varias veces. Elsewhere es una palabra. A otro sitio. So you can say somewhere else or elsewhere. Same thing. Elsewhere, una palabra. Somewhere else, dos palabras. He says, where's my old car? So he's pissed off now because, well, you know, he's putting up with some bullshit. Para usar put ahí. And Ed, the car salesman, and again, I don't want to generalize here, but we all know the reputation that car salesmen have sometimes. And especially in this movie where he's played by one of the greatest comedians of all time. He just does it to a T. And he gets your attention from the first moment in the movie. And he goes, I'm just as upset as you are. Obviously not. He could care less. He couldn't. Ahí tienes un error nativo. We say he could care less, pero sería he couldn't care less. O sea, next time you hear an American say, I could care less, sería, it's I couldn't care less. Me importa un bledo. Right? Don't correct a native speaker. I'm just joking. But we use them interchangeably, but they obviously don't mean the same thing. They're opposites. Es como no sé nada, entonces sabes algo, right? Técnicamente, right? So he goes, I'm just as upset as you are. Bullshit. No te creo. He goes, believe me. And he's screaming Davenport's name. Davenport, get Mr. Griswold's car back and bring it back here. He goes, tráemelo. So, devuélvemelo. Now I can get you the wagon. He goes, ahora te puedo pillar lo que tú has pedido. There's no problem there. No hay ningún problema. The problem is that it might take 6 weeks. Excuse me? It might take 6 weeks. Now, remember, if some of you know the movie we're talking about, they're going on vacation the next day on a car trip, on a road trip, in a car trip, on a road trip. And they're, so yeah, that's not happening. He goes, so the problem is it might take 6 weeks. He goes, now I owe it to myself, me lo debo a mí mismo. I owe it to myself to tell you that if you're taking the whole tribe, la tribu, if you're taking the whole tribe cross country, si vais a cruzar el país, the Wagon Queen family truckster, y saca un coche, this car comes out that is absolutely horrific. It's green, it's brown, and it's making noises, and it's not the car he ordered. And he goes, the Wagon Queen family truckster. Y luego la frase, the catchphrase, the marketing slogan, you think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it. O sea, crees que lo odias ahora, pero espera que lo conduzcas, que puede ser que te va a gustar, que te va a empezar a gustar, o lo odiarás más, ¿no? Okay, so I think that's the joke in there. You think you hate it now, but wait till you drive it. And then Clark Griswold says, I don't want to drive it. No quiero conducirlo. I just want my old car back. I'm not falling for this. I'm not falling for this. Es no voy a caer en esta trampa. And he says, let's go, Russ. Vámonos, Russ, que está ahí con su hijo. And what he realizes is that his car has been completely crushed, aplastado. Incredible. And so there's no way he's getting the car he ordered because he's going on a trip the next day. And also, he's not getting his other car back because it was smashed into one little square. If you don't know the movie, don't worry. We've got a friend who does know the movie, 2 amigos who have gotten it. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Kubla and Chris Valrol. Excellent job. The movie is National Lampoon's Vacation. This is a comedy classic starring Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo. It's just a great movie. One of my favorites. I remember seeing this on repeat. So yeah, the trailer, let me give you the trailer here as well. The Griswold family's cross-country drive. It's a mouthful, es mucho que decir. The Griswold families, de ellos, es posesivo ahí, cross-country drive, o sea, paseo o viaje en coche, a drive, cross-country, ya lo hemos visto, to the Wally World theme park proves to be much more arduous, we say it a little bit different, than they ever anticipated. And man, this movie is, if you haven't seen it, again, I think it's Una Loca Familia Chiflada Americana, something like that. I'm sure, Chris, you can help us out with the name over there. Let's see. Laura says, AA, clear. You're explaining. I see what Laura's explaining Leo's joke. not Kubla's joke. I think Leo made the joke. He goes, double A, clear, Clara is the name of the other lady, the mistress. Great pun, Leo. Oh, okay. See, there it is again. Guys, I don't watch TV, so I didn't know his mistresses. I don't know too much about the story, so that's why it went over my head. Again, it's not you guys. I'm not up on my pop culture. No sé tanto sobre la cultura popular. And I didn't catch that cartoon reference there. Pero bueno, I'll have to check it out. I'll ask my wife, but not right now, because right now we've got to go to a quick commercial break, amigos. We'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Welcome back. It's time for the fourth and final part of today's show. So much to do, my amigos, so much to do. Oh, yeah. Show with no name, Vaughn Radio. Oh, yeah. Okay, amigos. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. We have so much to do here in the fourth and final part of today's show. Just wanted to remind you, too, we've got great programs all afternoon. We've got Tosh Pasqua. We've got, with her program Back to Basics. We've got Rob and Andy in the lunchtime show. We've got Dave Boys and the Salad, Western Civilizations with Guy Williams, and so much more. And it's all free here on Vaughn Radio. You can download the app or you can follow us wherever you get your podcasts. But right now, it's time for another challenge. It's time for Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's our Double Trouble section here. This is where we're going to look at a translation. Now, yesterday's was a triple trouble. Today's is easy. Today's is a double trouble, and it's, I think, as easy as it gets. Oh, and thanks, Chris. I knew it. Es que no me lo puedo creer. It just seems so absurd. Las vacaciones de una chiflada familia americana. Well, in English, it's National Lampoon's Vacation, but they just call it vacation. Okay. And then you have European vacation, Christmas vacation, and National Lampoons. To lampoon something is to parody it, to spoof or parody something. So they're parodying, a typical family vacation where everything goes wrong. You take the trip together, to spend time together. And after about 2 hours in the car and getting lost, you're ready to kill each other. You're jumping down each other's throats, como decimos en inglés. No, te tiras por la garganta, como le arrancas la cabeza, I think you would say in Spanish. Great, great movie. And I love the soundtrack too. It's so 80s. Holiday Road, Holiday Road. You remember that one? Anybody? Maybe I'm just too old. I'm not getting any of the jokes today. Also, some of the jokes are pop culture, which I'm on purpose. I don't know what's going on in the world. Really, honestly, I know what's going on in my world, my English world and my next projects, but I don't know. I do know that that PK and Shakira broke up, and they both have. See, it's not a. My wife knows. She tells me the really important stuff. She tells me the stuff that that you need to know. Que tienes que saber sí o sí. All right. So here's today's double trouble. Este libro engancha. No me creo que hablaste mal de ello antes. Excuse me. So, este libro engancha. No me creo que hablaste mal de ello antes. Oh, it's a double trouble. So it's a phrasal verb. So the phrasal verb is used twice. So, maybe it's not as easy as I thought. Well, we'll see. You guys are the ones who are going to, by your responses, by how many people respond and how quickly, I can judge how difficult it was. So, este libro engancha. No me creo que hablaste mal de ello antes. Okay, there it is. It's your double trouble. You got to use the same word twice as always. Also, I'm going to give you today's Say What soundbite. This is the fourth and final listen. Some of you have already gotten it. Everybody knows who it is. Here it is.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I asked my kids to listen to the song, close their eyes, and listen to the song. And my little one, Sasha, came up with the robot idea. He said, Mommy, I imagine you dancing with a robot.
All right, there you go, robots. That's one of those words that looks the same, but then is pronounced totally different. You say robot, we say robot, right? Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. My daughter and I like to act like robots sometimes. I'm a robot. Please feed me. I need grease. Twist my screws. Hey, it's fun. She likes doing voices. We do a lot of role playing, which helps my daughter. Okay. You're gonna cut my hair. You're the hairdresser, and then I'm like, hi, good afternoon. I'm here for a haircut. I just want to get it trimmed. Okay, sit down. So we literally role play different situations. Some of the situations you'll find, for example, in English Everywhere, which is a situation-based book, which really was written because I realized that you could learn so much just from going to the supermarket. I mean, think about how many different products there are, how many different countables and uncountables you can use over there, and numbers in the aisles. I mean, there's colors everywhere. It's a great place to learn. So my daughter and I, when we go to this, yesterday we went to the fruit shop, a fruteria, and that was a huge lesson. I mean, I think we looked at least 20 vocabulary words in under 5 minutes. And it's because she is curious. She's a curious cat. Speaking of curious cats, there's Leonardo taking a stab at today's double trouble. Let's see how you did, Leo. He says, this is a badass book. I don't think you've spoken bad of that before. I'll tell you what, Leonardo, it's not the one I've got over here, but it works. I'll take it. Badass. sé que engaña, porque dices badass, culo malo. Yeah, significa de muerte, la bomba. Man, that car you bought is badass. Huh? It's a cool, great word, Leonardo. In fact, gotta give him a total A. This is a badass book. I don't think you've spoken bad of that before. I think it would be more badly, but I love it. I love what you did. Again, that would be native speakers. You spoke bad of somebody. Técnicamente es badly, pero un nativo te diría, yeah, you understood me, right? So going back to those laísmos over there. But excellent, Leonardo. Really good. Badass. Muy americano, by the way. That's totally American, más que British. Okay, anybody else want to try and take a stab at it? I think it's even easier than Leonardo made it out to be. All right, well, I can give it to you. Este libro engancha. Oh, okay, hang on. Mons is taking a stab at it. I mean, I never want to give it to you. If you give it to us, it's even better. But if I have to, I'll always give you guys the answer so you can see if you got it right. Monza says, this book knocks in. I can't believe you knocked off about it before. Monse, I love what you're doing. And the knock in thing I haven't heard before. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I've never heard it before. And to knock off about something, I think that's British, I believe, but we say to knock something. De hecho, la expresión, la frase hecha es, don't knock it till you tried it. No lo critiques hasta que lo has probado. So knock, no hace falta poner el off ahí directamente. So great vocabulary, Monse, but that first part, I've never heard. I'm not saying it's wrong, but good. I love it, to knock something, criticarlo. All right, well, the one I've got is, este libro engancha. I can't put this book down. No puedo dejarlo. Engancha, we say. Man, that new book I'm reading, that new novel, I can't put it down. I hope you feel that same way about my books. So I can't put this book down. No me creo que hablaste mal de ello antes. I can't believe you put it down earlier. Okay? Yeah. To put down is to criticize. To put down. I can't put this book down. I can't believe you put it down earlier. So also, to put down es el verbo, but a put down como sustantivo es un insulto. Was that supposed to be a put down? Eso iba para mí, eso era un insulto. Y si lo piensas, poner abajo. And then again, I didn't give you this one before, no te lo di aposta cuando estábamos mirando el put. But these are two more uses. I can't put it down. Es buenísimo, es adictivo, right? I can't believe you put it down, que lo criticaste antes, o hablaste mal de ello antes. And again, the great thing about that verb, put. And don't forget it's a noun too. I don't like that. That was a put down. No me gusta eso. Eso fue un insulto. It's not good to put people down. Why would you want to put somebody down when you can lift them up? And speaking of lifting people up, I think my jokes will lift you up to higher ground.
Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. You're joking, only on the show with no name. And this is the part of the show where we take a look at a joke or two or three, who knows? And the idea is to see if you guys get these jokes. You don't have to do very much, but if you do understand the jokes and you'd like to share the explanation with us, you can do it in the group. If not, as always, I will explain the jokes as I always do. So, what building in New York? Okay, here's a little history, New York history for you. What building in New York has the most stories? Okay, anybody? What building in New York has the most stories? The public library. The public library? No? Public library. Okay. stories, cuentos, stories, plantas. No. Well, you could say it's a 4-story building. Well, when I lived in New York, I lived in a 5-story building. Fijaos, como es adjetivo, no ponemos ese en este caso. You can say it's 5 floors. The building has 5 floors, or it's a 5-story building. So I know you know the word story como cuento, but did you guys know it also has something to do with buildings? So when you hear the word in New York, you're either going to be in a library or talking about one of our skyscrapers. And right, the word scrape is another way to say rascar, right? Rascacielos. We say scratch, but also, you know, when you fall and you get just a little scrape, it's like a little abrasion. Como tienes cortecillos, pero no mucho. That's scrape. It's a little bit different than scratch, right? So what building in New York has the most stories? The public library. ¿No? Tiene los máximos cuentos, es el más alto, tiene las máximos plantas. All right. Well, what's the best pickup line to use in the library? Pickup line? What is that? Frase para ligar. Yeah. What better place to meet somebody who's educated, well-read, right? Than at the library. I think it's a great place to meet somebody. You know, it's library, right? Library. So what's the best pickup line, frase para ligar, in the library? Do you comma around here often? Do you comma around here often? Do you comma around here often? Comma, come around here. Vienes por aquí. Una coma. Okay, all right. I got more for you. Do you come around? So here's an interesting one really quickly. It's comma. You say coma in Spanish, right? Para nosotros el sonido O es como una A y tiene 2 M's. Comma. You come around here often? ¿Vienes por aquí frecuente? La típica frase, ¿bien? ¿Te he visto por aquí alguna vez? You come around here often? You come around here? All right. Okay, what is a car's favorite genre? ¿Qué es el género favorito de literatura, literature, of a car? What is a car's favorite genre? Oh, that's easy. Autobiography. No. Autobiography, automobile, autobiography. Hey, I think that works in Spanish too, doesn't it? Autobiography. Well, just be careful. No, it's auto in English. It's auto. Autobiography, no biography, right? Parecido, pero se pronuncia bastante diferente, right? Autobiography. Okay, last one here. I promise you. And then, well, we got to move on anyway because we're going to run out of time here. Why was the pamphlet a scaredy cat? ¿Por qué era tan miedoso el panfleto? Why was the pamphlet such a scaredy cat? Oh, easy. It was spineless. Spineless? You get it? Do you need me to explain it? I think it's a good one. Well, the spine is obviously tu espina, but also el lomo de un libro es the spine. Y un panfleto que no tiene lomo, right? There's no spine. It's just it's the 2 staples. You get it? Why was the pamphlet a scaredy cat? It was spineless. All right. I'll stop, but only because it's time for famous birthday trivia.
1, 2, 3. Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And this is the section where we take a look at somebody who's celebrating a birthday today. And hopefully you guys will be able to figure out who these birthday boys and girls are. The first person was born in 1954. She was probably, I think, one of the most famous cover girls, models, cover girl, chica de portada. At least when I was a kid, she was number one. And she was even like, I think she paved the way for like the supermodel, like Cindy Crawford, Claudia Schiffer, all these models who came after, where modeling now became a celebrity culture. Before, you were just a model. You were pretty, you looked good in the ad did well or not, but this is where this fascination with these people came. And her name, I can't tell you, but man, I had posters of her on my wall. In fact, she was for 25 years the face of CoverGirl Cosmetics. So it's a good one to know, CoverGirl. She was in Sports Illustrated. She was also married to Billy Joel, which everybody was like, oh, that's a weird couple. Because, okay, no offense, Billy Joel, you're a wonderful composer. But, she's in a different league. Even now at her age, she's, oh, man. Oh, and she was in the movie. You guys probably know her from the movie National Lampoon's Vacation. She plays the girl in the red Ferrari. Yeah, I told you I watched the movie on repeat when we did our Name That Movie. Well, it wasn't because the movie was funny. It was because she was in it. No, I'm joking. It was funny. And yes, her scenes were extra special. Number two, this person was born in 1966. An American bass player, que toca el bajo, a songwriter and a producer. The bassist for the rock band Stone Temple Pilots, which, as many of you know, if you didn't know, their lead singer, Scott Weiland, died of a drug overdose. So this guy is the bassist of this band, but he's been known to collaborate with tons of different artists. And he's very well known in the music community, especially after the success of STP, or as we call it, Stone Temple Pilots. All right. And last but not least, you all know who she is. She spoke on our Say What soundbite today. In fact, you know much more about her than I do. I know that she is a very talented performer, songwriter. She does a little bit of everything. She's a businesswoman. And some of her songs, La Tortura, Hips Don't Lie, Waka Waka, the Africa one. And looks like we've got a winner over here, ladies and gentlemen. A nice round of applause for Chris Valrol. Nice job, Chris. Number one is Christy Brinkley. Christy Brinkley, that's right. Actress, model, icon, Christy Brinkley. Number two is Robert DeLeo. Robert DeLeo. And number three is Shakira. Shakira. And also it's PK's birthday too. You think they're going to celebrate together? As I said, I'm out of the loop. No me entero de nada. But I'll tell you something. Shakira, I will make another comment aside from saying she's a tremendous artist. But she's also a great, her English is basically native level. And she seems like a really nice mom too. She seems, imagine your mom being Shakira. That's got to be pretty cool. And so she's talking about how she got an idea for one of her videos. And she says, I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I asked my kids to listen to the song. It's great. I always get inspiration from my family. I'm like, what do you see? Sometimes my wife is like, that music is too much. Or you got to. So I get a lot of feedback from my family as well. I mean, I'm not Shakira, but when I'm producing something. So I asked my kids to listen to the song, close their eyes and listen to the song. And my little one, Sasha, came up with Diokon, the robot idea. He said, Mommy, I imagine you dancing with a robot. En mi cabeza veo que estás bailando con un robot. And she said, I'll buy it. decimos lo mismo. Te compro la idea. All right, so this is the one and only Shakira.
And I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I asked my kids to listen to the song, close their eyes, and listen to the song. And my little one, Sasha, came up with the robot idea. He said, Mommy, I imagine you dancing with a robot.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time for our final section. Name that lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. I can't believe how fast today's show has flown by. Cuando quieres decir demasiado en una frase. I can't believe how fast today's show has flown by. Amazing. Thank you for all your hard work. Thanks for having fun. Thanks for, just adding to the show, por añadir al programa. And as always, guys, we're going to come back tomorrow with some new music, some new movies, some new expressions, and we're going to explore the English language. And remember, you can explore the English language the rest of the day. If you have the Vaughn Radio app, you can listen to English all day long. And whenever you can, I know I say this a lot, but it's so important. Whenever you can, when you hear a structure or a homophone that sounds weird, or you're like, whoa, that's a new word, say it aloud if you can. And I know sometimes you're like, oh, no, estoy en un. If you can, whenever you can, whenever, wherever, say it aloud. See, I had to get that last little joke in there. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you the song. It's Stone Temple Pilots, one of my favorite groups. The song is called Down, if you want to look it up. And it goes, pleased to meet you, encantado de conocerte, nice to know me, encantado, es bueno conocerme a mí. So he's playing with that there. What's the message? ¿Cuál es el mensaje? That you show me, que me vas a enseñar. I've been waiting a long time now. Llevo mucho tiempo esperando. Check it out. If you didn't know this song, it is awesome. It is Down by the Stone Temple Pilots. Thank you so much, amigos. We'll be back tomorrow with more. It's been an absolute pleasure. Ciao. Woo!